Right, let's crack on with the show, shall we? Paul Nuttall has been elected leader of UKIP, winning more than 60% of the members' votes. In a victory speech to the party activists, he told UKIP would target Labour voters who felt alienated by the party's policies on immigration and Europe. And Paul Nuttall is promising that UKIP will become the voice of working people under the leadership.
My ambition is not insignificant. I want to replace the Labour Party and make UKIP the patriotic voice of working people.
Right, UKIP's North East MEP Jonathan Arnott has backed Paul Nuttall since he announced he would run. He joins me now on the phone. A very good afternoon to you, Jonathan. So I take it you're pleased?
Good afternoon, and yes, I am pleased about the result because I think a mandate of over 60% of the vote makes it quite clear. This is the way that the party membership want to move the party forward. There's no doubt in anybody's mind. It's a very clear signal that this is the path that we're going to be taking as UKIP, and it's a very clear signal that the party wants to put certain events of the summer behind us and to move forward to the future and start looking at where we can start to gain votes, gain seats and gain representation.
Now, you know Paul Nuttall pretty well, and give us an insight into him. What kind of leader can we expect from him?
Well, I tell you, the one thing that I would see behind the scenes more than anything is that Paul is the sort of person, he knows how to put an arm around someone's shoulder when they're upset, when they're struggling with something. He's a very good person at persuading people to do things, keeping people on side, keeping people happy. So my hope is that he'll very quickly be able to unite this party and to get everybody in the same direction, pushing forward. And I think that's going to be absolutely massive. I think what we see from Paul in terms of how he comes across to the media, to the general public, as really a very honest, hard-working guy, somebody who comes from a very working-class background himself, brought up on a very rough estate in Bootle, and somebody who does speak his mind, but speaks his mind with a very positive, common-sense sort of approach, and also somebody who's developed a real understanding of the media, how to get your point across as well. So you certainly get honest and straight talking, and you also get somebody who doesn't really tend to put his foot in it that often either.
I know what you're saying. You're saying with Paul Nuttall, he can put arms around people, whatever, but he's got a lot of plates to spin. There's a lot of factions within UKIP. Bringing those together is going to be a long and arduous job, yet he's come out and said he wants to bring in, disaffected Labour voters. How is he going to achieve that in the short term?
Well, first of all, I don't necessarily think it is such a long and arduous job, because actually, I think everybody recognises the differences within UKIP aren't particularly to do with policy or what we believe. It seems that the party is pretty united about that already. It's just personalities and disagreements that there have been over quite a while. And Paul's already appointed Peter Whittle as his deputy leader, a strong Farage ally, but also appointed Patrick O'Flynn as a key Suzanne Evans ally as his chief political advisor. So Paul's already bringing people into the tent within UKIP. As far as the wider public is concerned, well, that's firstly about presenting that united front and it being a genuine one, but then it's about how do we reach out? What is our tone? What is our messaging? What is it that's going to attract people to the UKIP cause? And I think Paul's been very clear about his appeal to the patriotic working class, the people who don't take a racist view or doing down other countries. But you don't have to do down other countries to have a real belief in the future of our United Kingdom. And so I think what we'll see is that patriotic working class theme, and we'll see it across a number of different policy areas.
What next for UKIP then?
Well, I think UKIP, as we said, UKIP unites over the next few weeks, and then we have to be looking at 2020, looking at the parliamentary seats that we can win in 2020, and also we've got to keep an eye on the parliamentary by-elections that are likely to be coming up. And
Jonathan,
the pipeline.
Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you very much.
That's Jonathan Arnott. Thank you very much for your time this afternoon.